Well, some of you may know and some of you may not, but today Dead by Daylight has released a developer update for July, and we're going to go over it and read it for you because everyone hates reading, so we're going to go ahead and do it for you. But if you want to catch us live, we do stream on Twitch throughout the week at twitch.tv/Parklis. Now, last month we revealed possibly the largest balance patch in Dead by Daylight history, along with an overhaul to progression system. We've kept an extra close eye on feedback since these updates hit the public test build or PTB last week. This is special. In this special edition of Developer Update, we'll be covering all changes we'll be making to the mid chapter following the 6.1.0 PTB. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the June development update, which we have a video on that. For more information on what's changed in the upcoming mid chapter, or watch our mid chapter preview live stream. Progression. We like to start off by talking about the overhauled progression system, in which perks are unlocked immediately through prestige rather than needing to be found in the blood web. While these changes make it far easier to collect the various perks on all your characters, we've received some feedback regarding the difficulty of obtaining add-ons. To remedy this, we'll be making a few changes. First, we have increased the blood point caps per category to 10,000. We've only been asking for that for 6 years, but hey, it's finally here. By increasing these caps, you can potentially earn up to 40,000 blood points per match instead of 32, allowing you to purchase more nodes on the blood web. At the same time, this allows you to earn more points in a category before capping out, making matches where you pigeonholed into a certain role a little more rewarding. Second, in a future update, we will revisit the rarity of blood web nodes after prestiging. Currently, resetting to level 1 also makes common quality nodes far more common. If your favorite add-ons happen to be rare or very rare, prestiging may have made collecting them difficult. This change will make it easier to find a wider variety of add-ons of both lower and higher rarities. Beyond add-ons, we've also received some feedback on the cost of prestiging. In the PTB, the prestige node costs 50,000 blood points. While it may not sound like much, it could take several games to afford. We are reducing the cost of this node to 20,000 blood points to make progressing a little smoother. Speaking of blood points, the 1 million cap has long been a topic of discussion, and we felt this was fitting time to revisit it. We are raising the cap to 2 million blood points. As always, bonus blood points from things like login rewards, promo codes, or player support will exceed this cap. Finally, we've made a tweak to our catch-up mechanic, which awards you bonus prestige levels based on your progress prior to the overhaul going live. This is based on the number of perk tiers you've unlocked on a character as well as your prestige. In the PTB, we awarded 1 bonus prestige level of each prestige your character had prior to the PTB. For the full mid-chapter release, we have increased this to 2 bonus prestige levels. This means if your character was prestige 3 before the update, they are guaranteed to be prestige 9. Does that? After the update, granting all the new rewards immediately. Okay, ish. The catch-up mechanic will be limited to prestige 9, however, even if the calculated bonus would have exceeded this. Weird. Gameplay changes. When changing base mechanics and close to 40 perks in a single update, some wacky interactions and powerful strategies are bound to appear. We went into the PTB hoping the community would experiment and abuse these changes to their fullest potential, and you did not disappoint. No, you did not, community. You did not at all. Thanks to your feedback on the PTB, we have a few changes in the works for the mid-chapter's release. Endurance. The endurance effect has been a hot topic of discussion since the PTB went live. Historically, this status effect has been used very sparingly, but with the advent of new ways to get the effect, some of you made it your personal mission to chain together as many endurance effects as you could. While this is technically working as designed, avoiding multiple hits in a row is not something that we want to see. As a result, the endurance effect will no longer protect you from going down if you already have the deep wound status effect. This effectively limits the number of hits you can avoid with endurance to 1 until you mend your wounds. Keeping it as a powerful effect then can be included on various perks while providing a hard limit to how powerful it can be. See, some of reading this sometimes is difficult, which is why I have to stop and pause and reread things, because they type it difficult. Keeping it as a powerful effect than can be included. See, that's not right. Typos happen, I get it. Anyway, as a note, you may still gain the endurance status effect while you have deep wounds. This is intended. While it won't prevent you from avoiding a hit, it will take effect if you are able to mend your wounds while the effect is still active. Perks. While we're comfortable sending most of the updated perks to live version of the game, there were a few outliers in the PTB that we wanted to take a second look at before release. As a reminder, the public test builds typically do not have enough players for ranked matchmaking to work effectively. Therefore, everyone is paired together regardless of their skill level. This can make it a little tricky to fine-tune balance during the PTB. The changes below addresses some glaring issues spotted during the test, but they are by no means the only changes the updated perks may receive. We'll be closely monitoring the performance of each of the updated perks once they go live and making tweaks as needed. These tweaks would be made as soon as possible, not necessarily postponed until the next mid-chapter. Spine Chill now activates when the killer has a clear line of sight to you. After revealing this change, many voiced their concerns about how this would affect hard of hearing players who relied on Spine Chill as a replacement for the Terror Radius. While we don't want accessibility to fall on perks, we also do not want to remove their aspect of the perk until we are able to implement a more permanent solution. For release, we have added a visual indicator to Spine Chill's icon that displays the Terror Radius strength. Interesting. In the future, we would like to revisit this and implement a permanent solution that does not require a perk. Only once this happens, the Terror Radius indicator will be removed from Spine Chill. So it'll be interesting to see what the Terror Radius indicator will look like. Dead Hard now grants the Endurance status effect when activated instead of causing you to dash. In the PTB, the duration of the status effect was set to 1 second. So let's just go back. It does kind of dash a little bit. It's kind of dopey. This gave survivors a long window to dodge a hit when Dead Hard was used. For the mid-chapter's release, we are reducing this to half a second, requiring more precise timing to use effectively. Nice. Balance aside, we've also seen some feedback on Dead Hard's animation. The PTB version of Dead Hard uses a modified version of the original animation, but this isn't ideal. In a future update, we'll replace Dead Hard's animation with a refined version designed to better match its new effect. Alright, here's the big boy. Off the Record now grants endurance in addition to its existing effects. Some of you pointed out that, like Decisive Strike, Off the Record could give survivors a guaranteed escape once the gates are powered. That's not the problem. As a result, this perk will deactivate and remove its effects once the gates are powered. Still not the problem. As mentioned earlier in this post, the endurance effect will also no longer protect you from damage if you already have the deep wound status effect, making it very impractical to dodge subsequent hits. As with all endurance effects, the effect is cancelled prematurely if you perform certain actions. So it's still 80 seconds of endurance unless you do something like, work on a gen, do a totem, open a gate, heal, unhook, that kind of stuff. We'll see if that change actually makes a difference. Anyway, Overcharge now causes a generator's regression to gradually speed up after you damage a generator, in addition to its existing effects. On the PTB, this was set to grow from 100% speed to 400 over 30 seconds. We found this to be a little extreme, especially when paired with Call of Brine, causing generators to quickly lose all their progress. This is particularly noticeable with solo survivors who aren't able to communicate that their nearly computed generator is regressing. For the release, this is being toned down. The generator will start regressing at 75% speed and increase to 200% speed over the course of 30 seconds. If you're curious, Overcharge becomes faster than the default regression after only 12 seconds. Overcharge can still be combined with Call of Brine to offset the reduced speed. I didn't think it was too bad, but then again, I didn't really notice that much. Botany Knowledge increases your healing speed far more than before, but no longer provides medkit efficiency. While this change made the perk more appealing to the healers out there, it could be a little too powerful with medkits. Interesting. I guess because of the speed and the green medkit. To remedy this, Botany Knowledge will receive a 20% efficiency penalty to medkits. While this may sound minor, even a slight reduction to efficiency can cause medkits to run out of charges before you can finish the heal. That's actually huge. What people don't understand is efficiency is what allows you to use more or less charges. Skill checks help or reduce efficiency of a medkit. So efficiency is huge. We'll see how this changes. I like the change. Distortion prevents your aura from being revealed to the killer and can now be recharged by staying inside the terror radius. As a small quality of life improvement, Distortion will now have an audio cue when the token is used. This will make the effects harder to miss. Alright, fair enough. I like it. Iron Will now reduces your grunts of pain by 75% rather than making you silent, and no longer works while exhausted. We've seen some feedback concerning the volume of certain survivors compared to others, causing this perk to be less effective on survivors with louder grunts of pain. In a future update, we'll be reviewing the volume levels of each survivor's grunts to ensure that each of them can make use of this perk. That's fair, finally, after 6 years, because let's be honest, Ash and Bill are much louder than Ace and Felix. Inner Focus was unchanged on the PTB, but it will be receiving a small tweak in time for the release. Currently, Inner Focus allows you to see scratch marks of other survivors within 32 meters. We're removing the range requirement entirely, letting those with a keen eye spot distance scratch marks too. We'll continue monitoring the updated perks once the mid-chapter goes live and readjust as needed. So those are some interesting changes. I can't wait to see how it's going to work. Visual changes. The progression overhaul came paired with several new cosmetic details, including new charms and effects. Unfortunately, the feedback to some of these new elements in the PTB was less than stellar. We want these rewards to feel like a satisfying payoff for the effort they take to earn, so we've taken your feedback into consideration and iterated on each of them. Charms really are useless. Dead by Daylight, like, they're cool, but Anyway, Perk Charms. Reaching Prestige 7, 8, and 9 will each unlock one of the character's unique perks as a charm, allowing you to showcase both your favorite perks and your dedication to your favorite characters. On the PTB, these charms had the perks icon on a red background. While these certainly stood out in a match, many felt they lacked the flair that such a reward should have. Not wrong. Going forward, these charms will have a purple background like the actual tier 3 perk and featured in a golden border. They better be freaking animated. Anyway, character portrait effects. Those who reach Prestige 3 prior to the progression overhaul will receive a special effect on the character's portrait to commemorate their achievement. On the PTB, this effect appeared as yellow orbs drifting across the portrait. For the full release, this effect has been replaced entirely with animated scratch marks. Additionally, the effect will appear between the character and the background rather than on top of the character. As with the PTB, you can disable this effect in the options menu if desired. So that'll be interesting. That looks pretty cool right there. Come on. There we go. Oh. You can kind of see it on Claudette here. Oop. So it's not animated, but it looks pretty nifty. Prestige icons. With Prestige now extended all the way to 100, we unveiled some new icons to showcase your Prestige level. This icon becomes more intricate and lavish the further you raise your Prestige level. We've made some slight improvements following the PTB and added gold trim to all Prestige icons, giving even the lowest Prestiges some well-deserved flair. So these aren't too terrible. It goes all the way, as you can see, from 1 to 100, 100 being the cap. We'll see how this plays out, because you got 25 and then another 5 to get to 30, and then another 25 to get to 55, and then another 25 to get to 80, and then 30 to get to 100. So you have this circle you have the circle ranks, and then once the circle ranks go up, you get the diamond, and then yeah, they just keep adding more sides, right? 0, 4, 6, 8, a million. So we'll see. I think they're just going to phase through all of these once they get to the new symbol. So with that, we've reached the end of this special edition of the developer update. The mid chapter is expected to release later this month. As always, please be sure to share your feedback with us once you've had a chance to give these changes a try. The DBD team. So the the mid chapter should be releasing, I don't think this week. This is July 12th as date of recording. I don't think it's going to be in the next 2 days. I think it's going to be the week after, but we shall see. I do like the blood point increase to 40k total, 10k per trial, and 2 million total. So we'll see how these perk changes are going to go through as well. I hopefully off the record isn't as broken as it was in the PTB. I do like the botany change. But yeah, let me know what you all think down below. If you guys agree with me, or if you all think I'm just crazy, let me know and we'll talk about it. But yeah, so that's been the developer update for July of 2022. If you like what you saw here, make sure you give the video a like, give it a dislike if you hated it, and all that good stuff. But yeah, if no one told you yet today, we love you all very much, and remember to please stay safe out there in the fog.